everybody, Axel here with another episode of Broken Card of Hearthstone. So today we're doing Shaman and Warlock. So let's do it. Let's do it. So first we have this card which I think this card is actually okay. I think this card should actually I think this card should be probably even stronger. Well, it's discovered card, so a discovered card for 2 crystals, that's not a good deal. I mean, technically it's a 1 crystal, but overall it's basically like another one. I don't know. This card, it don't seems to be broken, it just feel a little weak actually, which is rare. Then we have this thing, and this card, I think this card is overpowered. Not only this card, not necessarily because this card make your enemies weaker. In terms of this effect, it's same thing like evolve exit backwards. But the one thing which make this card overpowered, it's a fact. It's change your enemy, your type of this, which is basically kind of like polymorph. And the strength of this card is with the basically like this is basically like mass polymorph. Except unlike polymorph, it's don't turn minions completely useless. It just make them slightly weaker. But the point is, this card can effectively like nullify the effect of the buffs. Like if somebody gets some strong buffs and then this card basically make them useless. So I think this card is like, I mean, even evolve is okay. Here's the thing: evolve is a card which basically do exactly the same thing, but the situation there is a slightly different because thanks to the fact you using it on your own deck, then you can basically build your deck uh, around this feature, and you can effectively like turn this feature basically for you. You basically paying same price like for losing any buff, which is the reason if you have basically evolved decks, which is basically based around evolving mechanics, then you paying this price. So that is actually okay because it's beneficial for you. For price, you basically can give your minions conventional buffs. This is how this thing works. And you can basically do this. But if you do this for enemy, I think it's against enemy it's a little too much. Because unlike you, your enemy have basically don't accept this, and this is something which can be like you can completely disrupt like any sort of um, feedback or interaction between cards, ruin the buffs. It's basically like mass polymorph pretty much, except it's don't make minions completely useless. It's just make them weaker. I think that is a little too much, especially for effect like this one. I mean, like I said, with the evolve, which is basically same mechanic, it's a slightly different story because it's a effect which you using or you on yourself. But against enemy, I think it's a little bit. I don't think it's a bad card. It's a powerful card. It's useful definitely, but I think it's a slightly overpowered. I think it's be like I don't know. Then again, polymorph cost twice as much. I'm not sure. Like some, I really can't explain it. I really can't tell why, but somehow this card feel like it is a little too overpowered. Then we just go. That seems relatively okay. Okay, this is basically for Murlocs, and as I said more than once, Murlocs are in general overpowered, and this card making this for one even worse. So that's the issue here. So I definitely think this is something which um, need to be changed. I think there is way too many Murloc decks already, and I don't like this. I don't like this more and more. Then we have a Jade Army, which this card is actually okay, I think. Then we have this is also okay. Opportunity attack a hero. Transform it in the random six cost minion. That is OP. That is really OP. I mean, you can technically say, like, that is basically OP because this is something like which you basically can't stop. Because there's you basically have six cost minion for price of 4. And only thing which you need to do is attack enemy hero. That's it. That's the only thing we can do. I mean, I like the idea of this, but I should do like I think how this card should work is instead of just attack enemy hero, I would say like I don't know. This is just too strong. Like stats of this card are relatively okay. At the same time, for cards like this one, they are absolutely meaningless because cards turn into something stronger anyway, and like I generally like idea of like card which is able to transform into a stronger card. That is not bad. But at the same time, like jump from 2 to 6, that is way too overpowered. Way too. I mean, even if the card which you can get is randomly generated, but still it's too higher. I mean, there is lots of really powerful cards with the 6 category. That's basically second most strongest category after 7, and the conditions are way too small for such an effect. So I think this is just too much. It's a good idea, but I should do like you need to do like X number of damage. Like I don't know, maybe this card after, let's say I will like every time when it hits enemy hero, then it's get some sort of buff, which really don't do anything. Maybe like make it glow or something. And if you like accumulate X number of these buffs, that will be okay. That will be fair because then your enemy have plenty of time to stop you, and that's make this transformation more worth it. But being able to attack your hero just once, that is way too much. That is way too easy. That is way too overpowered. So we have this thing. Okay, honestly, I have no idea if this card is third level or not because I basically have no idea what the Storm Guardian is. It's a legendary card and it's go not in the hand but in the deck, which I expect has its own mana cost. And this mechanic actually reminding me Golden Monkey. This is problem. I actually do a little sidetrack here. Um, and this is something which Blizzard do a lot. There is actually many cards. This one is one of them, and there is also few more where you basically get some card, but you have no idea what this card is. There should be like something like um encyclopedia of these cards because I have no idea what the Storm Guardian is. I probably go on YouTube and watch, and I probably should do this because I'm pretty sure somebody already find it. So I eventually like go and watch and see if this is worth them. But right now, I have no opinion. Like this card by itself have relatively normal standard stats, nothing special. But the Storm Guardian may be OP, so I don't know. But at the same time, a chance to get one is relatively small, so I expect this card to be probably very strong. So I don't know. It may or may not be broken. We will see later. Maybe I can mention this in the next episode if I don't forget. So because I definitely want to check this on YouTube. What's the Storm Guardian it is? We will see. Right now I have no opinion at all. And we have this thing. Mm, I think this card is a little too weak. I mean, Jade Guardians by themselves are. Jade Golems by themselves are strong mechanic, but at the same time, like, I don't think giving it a town is such a big deal. And, like, there is some cards. If even if you use just something small like spare parts, then, like, town cost you basically one crystal, and that is basically difference too. So I think that is way too weak. I don't think it's worth it. I think these cards need to be stronger, which again is rare. Okay, so that is Shaman. So let's move to Warlock, and we have this. Okay, Warlock. We have this card, which is actually looks relatively weak, surprisingly. Summon a minion, deal 5. Okay, that is broken as hell. I can agree, like, having minion which is 5/5 or 3 crystals is beneficial. So obviously price need to be paid, but in case of this card, I think this card should have like price which you pay with this card is way too high. Way too high. Because keep in mind, you paying this price every time when you play card, and this is something which can easily turn against you. This can absolutely and completely ruin you. I don't think it's worth it. If this card has some additional ability, like let's say the card start with like 3/3 stats, and every time if you play card get you deal the 5 damage to your hero, but at the same time get buff. So basically, be like stronger than the version of Questing Adventurer, which getting levels much, which have basically better starting attributes, but at the same time basically getting strength faster. But at the same time, you paying price in form of getting insane damage. That would be worth it. But like this, no, its card is really bad. It's really not worth it, and I think it needs to be stronger. Okay, there is another card. there's surprisingly many cards which need to be stronger. This card is basically this card is basically like Warlock version of Assassinate. Except it's much more crappy card because Assassinate do exactly same thing for I believe same mana, but this one also destroy one of your mana crystals, which is really not important. Like if you wanna have like I generally don't like idea of these removal cards, but at least keep them if Blizzard feel the need using them in a game, then at least make them consistent because this is really bad deal, like really bad deal. This is basically worst version of Assassinate. Okay, give you demons plus 1+1. This is actually pretty powerful card. I actually believe I used to have this card. I don't know why I actually don't have it. Huh. But other than that, I think it's well. It's actually no. Actually, it is overpowered because this card is basically this card is basically like where is it? This card is basically where is the card? I can't find it. Damn it! Where is it here? Where is it? Oh, come on, really? Convinced this is 100, I believe. Where is it? Oh, this card. Okay, this card. Except this card have this card basically giving a same bonus like this card here. Uh, what the hell? Yes. So basically, it's the same card, except this one giving +1/+1 the all in. Like only difference is this one giving only a demons, which again is a slightly broken. It's not most broken card, but it is broken. Then we have this thing, which next more like we should play this called health instead of mana. It's because that's really don't seems to be too good. Well, if you play like Warlock there, and there used to be times where like Warlock used to be best class for Murloc, because big problem with the Murloc is you can really have like not too much. Now you need to be able to play them like lots of them. I don't think this card is that bad because first and most probably this is basically, as far as I know, only like Warlock specific class which is dedicated to Murloc, and unless there be more cards, and of course you need some cards which can quickly refill your health. Otherwise, this card is not that good. Um, yeah. So now we have this thing deal 5 all characters. That is basically like a variation for spells which already exist. I believe it was um fire fire explosion or something like that. I don't remember. We have at the end of your turn, add a random demon in your hand. That's actually pretty powerful card, and it's surprisingly, it's not overpowered. It has not. Keep in mind, this card giving you demon in your hand, which means that demon have its own mana cost. So I think this card is actually legit. It's a good card, even if it's a little tricky because you really don't know what kind of demon you can get. And I would probably like this card, but I don't like idea of demons doing damage me or my minions or discarding card. And there's many warlock cards which doing this, so you never know what card you can get, and it's a little tricky. Because demons, this is basically like what happens if you're messing with the demons. They are powerful, yes, but there is a price, and that price is sometimes they do things which you may not like. So, but other than that, I think this card is actually good. And we have this thing, which is basically improved version of Inferno, except it costs one crystal more and do one more damage. So if you don't have anybody on the board and just your enemies, like you basically losing game, an enemy have tons of minions on your board, and this card can help you a lot because it give you like massive damage to anything in the board, and the card itself have decent stats, so that can like be really useful. But you probably don't want to do this if there is tons of minions on a board. At the same time, there are some strategies where you really don't need to care about that. So it really depends on how well, like there are some decks which can get like a big advantage from this. Other than that, this card seems to be legit. And lastly, we have this thing. If you don't know, you can consume all demons for your hand. Okay, this is pretty overpowered. This is this is this is not only very broken, but it is also really OP. Because first and most importantly, if you have actually now when I okay, you know what? Let's check this. Let's check this because I actually wanna see something. How is the situation with the demons and battle cries? This battle cries hurt you. This one help you. But this is not demon. That is important thing to know. Demon. This is a demon. This thing is okay. Demon, no butler guys. This is not demon. Okay. This is positive. This is not demon. This is negative. Mm-hmm. Come on, be negative. Great damage. Okay, so this card is definitely broken and definitely really overpowered. Simply because if you make deck which has nothing but the demon, then you can like release on your board some serious firepower. And on top of that, keep in mind demons itself, they are really powerful and most of some of them have this power basically is compensated by the fact that they basically have some negative effects. Which you can bypass with this card. There's few cards which have beneficial effects, but if you like, yeah, I mean, it's a definitely very overpowered card. It's disgustingly overpowered. It may have some downside, some effect which you don't like, but you if you build your deck around this card, then you can get a serious boost from this. Like disgustingly. It is a little tricky to do that, but still, I think it's overpowered. So I actually wanna close this. So I do actually also warrior because why not? So let's do this quick. So that's okay, I guess. Play all weapons in your hand plus one attack. It's okay, I guess. Then we have this thing, which looks like a stronger version of Hearthstone in the card Silver or something like this. Deals free damage of all damage minions. Okay, that is disgusting. That is way too much. That is way too overpowered. This is basically like a slightly depowered version of execution. Because doing free damage. Oh, wait a minute. I actually missed the fact doing all damage minions, which mean even your own. And I know there's quite a few cards which can profit if they take damage on a side of warrior, but I think free is a little too much. So it's basically not just overpowered, it's just broken. It's not necessarily bad card, but it's really difficult to get any like serious advantage from this card. It's a card which is difficult to use, which make it broken. Okay, we have this card. I guess this card is okay. A little unpredictable, but pretty much okay. A certain deck can be useful. Um, then we have this. You found the card in your hand. This mechanic here, I don't like it to be honest, because there's way too many cartridges doing this. And if you play lots of these cards, then you just basically get bunch of free bonuses for your minion. Just, I mean, they are unpredictable and unpredictable songs, but if you have in your hand minions which do just this, then you can get like super powerful cards with basically no limits. And keep notice, like this card have basically normal stats, which may give you illusion, but like this is actually bonus, but in reality it's not. Simply because another minion in your hand get these bonuses, and I think it's broken. This is bad idea. I don't like this already. That's the same thing here. Okay, okay. This is even worse. This even doing like this. his bonuses continuously, and only thing which you need is keep this minion in life, and you can get some ridiculous bonuses. That is disgustingly overpowered. Like plus two, seriously. Like it's a random minion, but that doesn't matter because no matter which minions get plus two, it's still a lot. Even when it's completely randomized, unless you hand this empty. But still, I think this is way too overpowered. This card, and some cards can actually get advantage from this. So basically, if you combine it with this, then that's big. That is pretty bad. Okay. So fortunately, warrior, or maybe unfortunately for warriors don't actually have that much card here. I think he actually has less than yours. But that is everything for now. So we are done with the class specific part, and from there we will continue with the neutral cards, doing like 1, 2, and from there we continue up. But for now we are done. So thanks for your time, and as always, I will see you later with neutral cards.